Walker. Deanna, come on up here. Deanna teaches a workshop on Monday nights starting August 26th, 27th, 26th, over at Blair School of Music at Vanderbilt. And I tell you, it's one of the greatest things you can do. It's one of the greatest resources in Nashville. It's taking this class that brings in hit writers, publishers, artists, people from all walks of our industry. Deanna will interview them, and the class also participates in questions and so forth. The artist will play some songs, explain where the songs come from. It's really, I compare it to if we were all wanted to build cars. We have Henry Ford coming in. We have the president of General Motors. We're learning from the best. Well, that's what it is with what Deanna does. So the guests, let's just talk about it, Deanna. Why do you do this workshop? It's incredible.
Why do I do it? Oh, that's a great question. And it's really awesome because I see all these people that I know, and so a bunch of them have been in my class. And I'm looking at you guys thinking maybe you should tell everybody about it. You know?
Yeah, some alumni, somebody who wasn't came in tonight said, I signed up or getting ready to sign up already. Somebody came in and did it. Girl right there, Coldplay tonight. I was proud of her. This is where we met, was in Deanna's class. Do you recommend anyone doing this class?
It's incredible. It's amazing. Like, all these amazing writers come and talk to you. Huh? Oh, no. It was just amazing who she got to come into the class. It was so helpful, so inspiring. Writing exercises were so helpful.
Can you talk about what you thought was the most helpful, or why you took it, and what you?
I feel like the kind of the insider stuff you get from the industry people that come in that you don't necessarily hear every day,
Yeah.
and hearing their stories of how they got where they are. Because a lot of times you're like, awesome, but I'm down here. How do I do that?
Right.
And they would tell us just some crazy stories, and it was very inspiring. And the camaraderie of the class. These guys right here in my class, you know, and we meet lots of co-writers and friends. It's awesome.
Co-writers and friends.
Coming up this semester, we have Steve Markland from Warner Chappell, Cliff Aldrich from Show Dog Universal, Bobby Reimer, Writers Den Music, Rick Beresford, great hit writer and college instructor at Belmont. Got Jimmy Robbins, sure be cool if you did. I just heard that song on the way in.
Jimmy Robbins is just the coolest thing. He's an amazing writer, amazing person. And we've never had him in class before, so I'm super excited about him.
Yeah, Brandy Clark.
She's amazing.
Better Dig Too. Anybody heard that song?
Yeah.
Where those ideas come from? How do they get them? That's what you learn in that class. Brandy, you got Jeff Cohen, Postcard from Paris, Man Perry. Odie Blackman, 3 #1 songs. I think he's got about 15 Gary Allan cuts.
Yeah. And some of the biggest ones that you know.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other people that, every person there, you're going to learn a lot.
That's right.
But just thinking back through the years, some of the funnest moments, or the songwriters, artists that come in. Give a couple highlights what they might expect.
Well, you know, some of the most fun moments were really way back in the early days when you were around. We used to have a 3-hour class. Now it's a 2-hour class. But in the early days, Craig Wiseman would come to class, for example, and he would talk. Literally, like, we would have class from 7 to 10, and then we would all stand in the parking lot talking till midnight. Because sometimes we would get in his car and he would play us new demos, and it was amazing. And that was, those were like right in the early days when he was just starting to be a huge hit writer. And anyway, it was just really powerful. And then he still comes, and at the end of every night that you have with Craig Wiseman, he really ends up telling you the really deep and personal and profound reasons why he writes songs. And you're saying it was surprising.
He's just a big weirdo. It's awesome.
Right.
I was sitting there the whole time going, what? This is Craig Wiseman? This is cool.
I know.
Regular.
It inspired me because we all go through these times as a writer. We have these dreams, we get these doubts, whatever. And then you hear the hit writers, whatever I'm feeling, so did they.
Yes, exactly.
Or the artist. By the time you
Exactly.
had Big and Rich there, the day that they got their contract, it was crazy.
That's a day I'll never forget. Never forget. The day that Big and Rich signed their record deal, they came to my class, and I suppose you can imagine that they were completely hammered by the time they got there. And that was the wildest night. And they would say the craziest things, and I'd think to myself, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. But then they would play their songs, and the songs were so amazing, you know, and everybody was completely swept away by their talent. But that was a freight train that was almost impossible to stop.
And you had, I remember Jeffrey Still analyzing one of his songs, line for line. Where do these ideas come from? Where are you challenged? Where are you struggling? What keeps you going? They talk about that. Rivers Rutherford talking about going and couldn't afford to pay for groceries and things like that, but
Yes.
they got through. But that's what you're going to learn from being there, and then having publishers listening to your songs and giving you critiques.
Yes, we have amazing critiquers in our class, really amazing critiquers, people who give you really excellent feedback from a songwriter perspective, which is usually more detailed, and from a publisher perspective, which is usually more commercial oriented. I could pitch this, I couldn't pitch this, this is what I could do with this. This needs to be more like this if it's going to be able to fit in this market. You know, but we have people, really amazing insiders, who are going to give a lot of feedback on songs. So that's usually everybody's favorite part.
So I just really encourage you to check it out. I have information on Nashville Muse, or what do they need to do to sign up.
Yeah, he's got information on Nashville Muse, and obviously you should go to Nashville Muse for all of your information, for whatever you need, because everything is up there. But you can contact Trisha Johns, and it's a simple email address. It's trisha.johns, and it's trisha.johns@vanderbilt.edu. And if you email that address and ask about the Blair Hit Songwriter series on Monday nights, she'll tell you exactly what to do to register. If you haven't registered before August 26th, you can still show up at Blair. You can still show up and come to class, and I'll have registration forms then, so you can sign up then. The cost is $230 for the entire semester. That's 14 weeks of class, 2 hours a week. So it really comes down to just a few dollars a week, and it's an amazing investment. So, and they've added credit cards now, so this is the first semester you can actually pay by credit card. Anyway, so trisha.johns@vanderbilt.edu, or come to Blair School of Music. Information is in Nashville Muse about the room, time, place.
We have Brandy's out as an artist and a writer now. You have Sarah Zimmerman from Striking Matches. Y'all familiar with Striking Matches? She took the course about 2 years ago, I think it was.
And she took it because of a contest that you sponsored.
Right,
Yeah, Nashville Muse sponsored, and she was the winner.
So it's just, I just want to encourage all of you as artists, as writers, learn from the best. Rick and I try to bring, we do bring a lot of the professionals to this. But go and learn, ask these writers, where do you get these ideas? Here I am on my journey. What were you doing before you started having the hits? That's the question I always ask.
Yes.
And you know what? Whatever we're going through is usually what they went through.
Exactly.
So I just really encourage you to check out Deanna's class and ask me, if you have any questions or whatever afterwards.
And you guys are so lucky to have these guys. These guys that really know everything that needs to be known about this town. So you're really in the right place. So anyway, thanks you guys for taking a minute to hear about my class. Thanks, Doak.
Watch it. Thank you, darling.